Everybody out there has a bestie, right? Just like your best friend in the whole wide world. Everybody has friendships of some sort. Maybe they even have like frenemies. Besties, frenemies. Are you my bestie?
You're my bestie.
I know, you're my bestie.
You're my best friend. But this isn't really talking about relationship besties. This is more friend besties.
Friend besties. I feel like your partner should be your best friend. And if they're not, I don't know.
That sucks for you.
What do you mean? Are you
No,
saying
that
you're
sucks
not
for people who don't have that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to say, are you not you don't think I'm your best friend?
I just said that.
Okay. Welcome to ThreadTalk, guys. I'm Denver. This is my beautiful fiance, Teresa.
Hello.
And today, for episode 52, we're getting into friendships. I have 7 stories. Teresa has 7 stories. And we're going to get through the best amount of them that we can in the next 2 hours. So strap in, keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle because you're probably driving a car. Statistically, people listen to podcasts in their cars.
That's not true.
Where do you listen to your podcast? If you're in your car, say Denver was right in the comments below. And if you're not, you can say Teresa was right. I'm not in a car.
I listen mostly while I'm working.
I guess I do too. And when I'm driving. No, I mostly listen when I'm driving.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
I listen to Taylor Swift when I'm driving.
Yes, you do. Teresa listens to a lot of Taylor Swift. Okay. Me go first. You go first. Rock, paper, scissors. What do you want to do here?
Go for it.
All right. First one. Am I the asshole for telling my overweight friend that I maintain my body through a healthy lifestyle, not genetics? A few years back, 7 of my friends from high school and I decided that no matter where we lived or how busy we were going to meet each other for brunch once a year for the rest of our lives. We don't have an exact date, but we usually pick a week in June or July when it's warm and fly/drive to our hometown for a bottomless brunch at our favorite spot. Keep in mind that for some of us, this is the only time of the year that we see each other. I, in particular, live 2,500 miles away, so I hardly see any of these girls anymore. Regardless, it is always a good time. Until recently when one of my friends, Rue, would not stop commenting about my food intake. For some background, I am and always have been a very active person. I ran track and cross country for college and I now compete in ultra marathons. For this reason, I eat a lot of calories and I stay pretty thin. I also eat reasonably healthy, balanced meals most of the times. However, for the one day of the year at our favorite restaurant, nothing is off limits. I eat plate after heaping plate of cheesy eggs, pancakes, hash browns, sausage, bacon. I could eat the entire menu. Rue has always been on the heavier side. While I don't really pay attention to someone's weight changes or eating habits, Rue points it out, so I can't help but notice. Quote, every year I eat nothing but oatmeal and I keep getting bigger and bigger. And OP over here is gorging herself and is a stick thin. It's like every calorie OP eats shows up on my body. Soon my friends started to chime in, saying that I was lucky that I have such good genetics and can eat whatever I want. This really bothered me in part because it completely invalidates the work I do to maintain my healthy body, but also because I could tell Rue was frustrated about her weight, and I felt my friends were doing more harm than good. I explained that I do not normally eat like this, and I also exercise very frequently, and that people shouldn't look at a snapshot of someone's life and think that's how they live on the daily. I also said eating salads for every meal and never enjoying a meal out with friends is just going to make her more frustrated, which will also slow her progress. I thought that this was helpful advice, but my friends all looked at me livid. One of them called me incredibly privileged and said I wasn't aware of my privilege and accused me of shaming Rue. The rest of them followed suit and told me to get off my high horse. Eventually, I'd had enough. I said I was just trying to help and that they're only going to hurt Rue. Rue was silent the whole time. So I packed up my things, paid my bill, and I left. Now I'm feeling torn because it's been a few days and none of these people will talk to me. I reached out to the person in the group I was closest with, and she said I really overstepped and should apologize to the group and at least to Rue. I had good intentions, but if these people won't talk to me, maybe I screwed up. Did I?
I feel like that the part that you mentioned about like screwing up her progress and stuff was kind of like unsolicited advice.
Yeah.
But she's like, the friend is also giving her unsolicited opinions on her body and her eating habits and stuff. So she has no right to talk about your body and how you're eating.
Right?
In my opinion. Like, this would be super frustrating for me. Because you don't, and it's like OP said, it's very invalidating to all of the work that she's put in.
Yeah, I feel like when the Rue person made the comment, maybe a different comment would have been like, oh my, I keep eating oatmeal and I keep getting bigger and bigger. Like, how do you do it? Like a genuine, it could have been a genuine question of like, how do you get to eat?
What am I doing wrong?
What am I doing wrong? How do you do it so that I can duplicate and get your results?
Not be condescending and be like,
she said it in a condescending way. Whatever you eat goes onto my body. Like that's really harsh. It's like, and somebody who works out all the time, ultra marathons, and then there's a reason, like they are burning through calories. So and all the other time she doesn't eat, once in a while, that's her splurge day. So it's like, I feel like she kind of snapped back.
Yeah. And maybe she wasn't saying that piece in like trying to be rude, but like genuinely trying to give advice. But it still is kind of like, she didn't really ask for that advice. So yeah, I mean, I think it was like warranted to snap back because all of the comments that her friend was making tipped her off the edge. Like,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
Top comment, not the asshole. You absolutely did not screw up and didn't say anything wrong. They brought up the weight and calorie intake. They incorrectly assumed genetics and not all the effort you put into your daily activity to train the way that you do. Could genetics help? Sure. But you wouldn't be where you are on genetics alone. It takes a lot of work, especially for marathons. My old boss did Ironman all the time, and it was the same what he had to do to keep up. If your friends don't want to talk about weight, don't bring it up and make assumptions. Giving tips to avoid failure is not privilege. Also, the double standard being held against you isn't right. Rue gets to say anything she wants because she's overweight, but because you are fit, you have to endure what she says without saying anything back. That's not fair and shouldn't be tolerated. Good luck on your next event.
Yeah, very well said. It seemed like Rue was just projecting her insecurities onto her.
I feel like that would be like me with Dennis. And I'd be like, how does Dennis get to drink 3 Coca-Colas a day? And I'm over here drinking water, and I don't look like a Greek god like him. I am undermining how much freaking time that dude spends in the gym compared to how much time I spend in the gym.
Exactly.
Like, he puts in the work. He can have a freaking 3 Cokes a day if he wants.
Yeah, that could be really frustrating because, like, yeah, all of those hours that you spend, like, you want that to be noticed by people.
Yeah.
You don't want to just chalk it up to genetics. That is a slap in the face.
When that person's, like, spends a lot of their time exercising and working hard for their healthy body. So
yeah, exactly.
I don't know, but as far as friendship go on this, like, listen, you only see these friends once a year. Maybe it's time to stop seeing them once a year.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have more of your friends who are like-minded people where you currently live who don't treat you like this because they are also going through the same thing. It's kind of like the circle that you create around yourself. Like these are old friends from college that you try to keep a relationship with, but you don't have anything in common anymore. Mm-hmm. Where I'm sure the friends that you have met where you live are probably other people who go to the gym a lot, eat healthy. They probably have similar hobbies that you do. So you wouldn't have these problems with your current group of friends because you have actively chose those friends, where these are the high school, college friends that you're kind of
grasping to just hold on to that relationship.
Grasping to hold on. And there's a reason that friendships grow apart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Over to you.
Me?
That one was voted, not the asshole.
Nice. All right. Am I the asshole for not allowing my friend to bring her quote-unquote emotional support animal to my house after it destroyed my furniture the last time? I, 19 female, have a close friend, Amy, 21 female, who has a small dog that she refers to as her emotional support animal. I'm a huge animal lover and have no problem with pets in general, so when she asked if she can bring her dog over a few months ago for a small gathering, I was totally fine with it. However, during that visit, her dog completely destroyed one of my couch cushions by chewing it up and also scratched the legs of my coffee table. Amy apologized, but she kind of brushed it off and said, he's still learning to behave in new environments. I didn't push back too much because I know the dog is important to her, but I was pretty upset because it cost me quite a bit to replace the damaged items. Fast forward to now, Amy asked if she could bring her dog to my place again for another get-together. I politely told her that I wasn't comfortable with the dog coming this time because of what happened last time, and I don't want any more of my furniture ruined. Amy got really upset and said I was being insensitive to her mental health needs. She insisted that she needs the dog with her at all times and that I'm making her feel excluded by not allowing her dog. I suggested that she leave the dog at home just for a couple of hours or that we meet somewhere else, but she said I'm being unreasonable. Now, some of our mutual friends are saying I should just let the dog come to keep the peace, but I don't think it's fair that I should risk more damage to my home. Am I the asshole for refusing to let her bring her emotional support dog to my house again?
No, sounds like she never even offered to pay for the stuff that her dog broke the first time. So, no. Maybe I'm just too cold, but I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. I don't want to be friends with any of the people that are on your side.
Cut off. Snip, snip. No, but truly though, how can you be upset at your friend for being like politely declining, like, no, thank you to your dog coming?
Like, we could go somewhere else.
Yes, she's providing alternatives. How can you, the friend, be like, you're entitled and you're discriminating me?
I could.
No, that's ridiculous.
Maybe I'm an asshole, but I just can't deal with the sensitivity.
What do you mean?
She's so sensitive.
It's just like, I just don't understand that reaction. Like, any like normal sane person will understand that your friend doesn't want your dog that ruined her furniture there anymore. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. And just like to make a fight about it is crazy to me. Like, I would never, if I had a dog, I would never even assume that my dog could come.
Right.
First of all, like,
first you ask. Like,
yes, ask. And then I would be like, if they say no, like, oh my gosh, I totally understand. That's totally fine. Like, I will make different arrangements. I'll have a dog sitter come, whatever.
Bro, you show up with your child and your child wrecks my shit and you don't offer to pay for it. Your child is not allowed over again.
Child is banned.
Yeah, your child is banned. Do you want to come over? Okay, gotta bring Jeff, the 2-year-old. No.
Jeff the 2-year-old?
Jeff the 2-year-old.
Why does that sound so wrong?
I don't know.
Jeff the baby?
Jeff the 2-year-old is not allowed. He is not allowed in my house because he's a little shit. Same thing with your dog. But like, honestly though, like, I don't understand why she's still friends with her. I personally wouldn't want to be friends with somebody who brings a child or a dog. I don't know why we're talking about a child, but who brings a dog to my house. They wreck my fucking shit and she doesn't offer to pay the bill. I don't want to be friends with that person anymore.
I know.
So I don't even understand how they're still friends. But I'm a cold ass bitch, so maybe that's just it.
Maybe. But yeah, same thing. Like, if it were me and something of mine ruined someone else's stuff, like, I would 100% be offering, even if it put me into debt, like, I will be offering to fix the damage that I caused.
Put that on the credit card and I'll figure it out.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like people just lack basic, what is that? Basic politeness.
Courtesy?
Common courtesy. Like, I don't know. It's just like very entitled to your best friend. Like, it's insane to me.
Best friend? No, it's just a close friend.
Same thing.
You wouldn't be close to me no more. Maybe this is why I have no friends.
I'm your friend.
You're my best friend.
All right, top comment. Not the asshole. Being an emotional support dog doesn't mean he's free to destroy property without her taking responsibility for it. It's still a dog and she is still its owner. So if he's still getting used to new places, then she shouldn't be bringing the dog to other people's houses until he is properly trained to do so. She should have offered to pay to replace the items that her dog destroyed, and that should be a reasonable stipulation for future visits to your home.
Yeah. You know what I also don't understand? Like, is this a small dog, big dog? Sounds like a small dog.
I think small. I think they mentioned small.
But like, so you just...
Yeah, small dog.
Okay, so you just bring the dog to their house and then you just let the dog go inside their house and you don't even watch it or like see where it goes or something?
Well, you know, people get distracted. I feel like that could easily happen. You're catching up with a friend, you're in the kitchen making food, like...
So why does the dog need to be there? He's not even emotionally supporting you. He ran away from you.
I don't know.
Me either.
Got her off. And the dog.
Bye-bye.
Okay, you.
Am I the asshole for telling my friend, I told you so, when she told me her boyfriend left her when he found out that she was pregnant? I, 25 female, have a friend, 25 female. Let's call her Amber. Let's call her boyfriend Jack, 27 male. Amber is 3 months pregnant and Jack left her the moment he found out. I tried to warn her when they first started dating. I kept saying to be careful with him, not to get pregnant by him, telling her that he already has a kid he doesn't take care of. But she just kept saying that he truly loves her and that one day they're going to get married. I tried to support her until I received a call from her when I was leaving work. She's hyperventilating, telling me she just found out that she's pregnant. And when she tried to tell Jack the happy news, they got into a heated argument, and Jack broke up with her as he angrily packed his stuff and left her apartment. I tried to comfort her as I quickly drove to her favorite food place, buying her favorite food, and made my way over to her apartment. I let her vent, but I told her she shouldn't be surprised since I tried to warn her. She started calling me an asshole, calling me a horrible friend, and she kicked me out of her apartment. She went crying to our mutual friends. Now they're calling me an asshole, calling me heartless because I was not considering that she's pregnant now and possibly a single mother. So am I the asshole for saying I told you so?
Respectfully, yes. Nobody wants to hear that. Even though you're right and you knew this was going to happen. That's your friend. Okay. I would say if you wanted to stop this friendship, and you wanted to cut her off because you didn't agree with her decisions or whatever, like, you have every right to do so. But I feel like you didn't want that to happen. So in order to keep that friendship, when she's coming to you for comfort and advice, you need to be there for her. That is what a good friend does. Am I totally off here?
No, I feel like you're just supposed to be the sponge. You're supposed to just let them cry on your shoulder, give them a bucket of ice cream, and you're not there to like solve their life problems. Like, you're just there to like for a shoulder to cry on.
People have to make mistakes on their own. A lot of the times, like, even though outsiders can see better perspective into other relationships and they think they know what's best, like, the person will not listen to them. The person has to learn for themselves. Otherwise, like, it'll just create resentment and it'll just cause more problems. So, yeah, OP's friend needed to experience this by herself. And I think it's totally fine for her to, like, go crying to her friend. If they still, like, if OP still wants to be friends with her. Right. You have to be there for her then. Yeah. Otherwise, like, then you're not being a good friend.
Yeah. Top comment. There's a specific type of people who have to say, I told you so, out loud. It's the ones who care more about themselves being right than others. That doesn't make you an asshole, though. Just a crappy and inconsiderate friend. Also, if someone gets offended by I told you so, then it just shows that they are still in denial about the situation.
Interesting. So what was the overall vote?
Asshole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like the top comment didn't really say that, though.
Yeah, kind of not really. But, like, I do, like, the person that needs to say I told you so cares more about being right than they do about the other person.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I know it feels really good to just say I told you so. But you got to bite your tongue. Yeah. It depends how much you value that relationship.
It's like, congratulations, you were right. Now the situation still sucks.
Yeah.
And now what? Situation like, still sucks.
That person feel worse.
Yeah.
It's not helping anything.
Yeah.
Tough.
Asshole.
All right. Am I the asshole for blocking my childhood best friend after she tried to make me pay for the catering at her son's first birthday?
What the fuck?
So here's the thing. Me, 28 female, and Anna, 28 female, have been best friends since forever. Like, we grew up together, went through school, first breakups, everything. Naturally, when she had her baby, I was thrilled for her. I even helped plan the baby shower and got super involved in her life as a new mom. But recently, things have gotten weird. Anna's son turned 1 last weekend, and she wanted to throw a huge party. I'm talking over the top, rented venue, professional catering, decorations, the whole shebang. Now I thought we were just going to do a nice little family and friends thing, but nope, Anna had a vision. Fine, no biggie. I figured she could do whatever made her happy for her son's big day. Fast forward to a week before the party. Anna starts hinting that she's a little stressed about costs and how tight things are right now. I get it, having a baby is expensive, but she kept bringing it up in every conversation. I offered to help with decorations or pick up some snacks, but she waved it off, saying she had everything under control. The day of the party comes and it's chaos. Balloons everywhere, a bouncy castle, tons of people I didn't even know. I show up early to help set up, and Anna's running around like a headless chicken. Then, as we're putting out the decorations, she casually says, "Oh, by the way, I put the catering on your card." I hadn't even seen a catering bill, let alone agree to pay for one. What do you mean you put it on my card?" I asked, trying to stay calm. She looked at me like I was being dramatic and goes, "Yeah, I've been struggling. I figured you wouldn't mind covering it, and I'll pay you back later." Excuse me? First of all, I never once said that she could use my card. And second, I had no clue how much this catering even cost. When I asked, she shrugged and said, "Oh, only about $500. It's not a big deal." $500? For food I didn't even order or agree to pay for. I told her no way. I wasn't paying for something she never asked permission for, and frankly, I didn't have that kind of money just lying around. She acted all shocked and hurt, saying I was being selfish and how it was her son's first birthday, as if I'm supposed to go into debt for a party I didn't even throw. We had a massive argument in front of some of her other friends, and I ended up leaving early. Later that night, she blew up my phone with texts saying I ruined her son's day, that I was being a terrible friend, and how I didn't understand how hard things are for her right now. I just couldn't believe the audacity. After everything, I blocked her. I couldn't deal with the guilt tripping, especially over something so ridiculous. Now, some mutual friends have reached out, saying I was too harsh and that I should have just helped her out because she's struggling. But I feel like she crossed a line. You don't just throw someone's money into your plans without asking them, right? So, am I the asshole for blocking her, or did I overreact?
Yo, this is wild. The entitlement.
The audacity.
Oh my god. Okay. First, that's theft and fraud. I think that's fraud too. Theft and fraud. I don't know. But
I don't know.
How did she even get your? I use your credit card. Where did you get my credit card
info?
Did
she literally go in her purse?
Like sneakily went in without her noticing, and
over $500 you can't tap. She would need to know her PIN.
Do the states even have tap?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't even know if the states do tap and stuff.
True.
So I don't know.
Do you guys have tap?
Yeah, I don't know. But I'm just picturing she arrives for the party. She greets her friend at the door. "Oh, let me grab your coat and your purse, and I'll go put it in the closet."
Oh my God,
puts it in there,
yeah.
sneaks in the bag,
Oop.
credit card, swipe for the food. What?
So sneaky.
That's fucked up. That's not friendship. That's
No.
fucked. What I don't get is why do people need to be having these bougie birthday parties?
For a 1-year-old.
He's not going to remember the birthday party.
No.
Why do you have a bouncy castle? He's not going in the bouncy castle. You bought a bouncy castle for other people's kids?
It's for the Instagram.
Yeah.
It's for the gram. It's for clout, showing off.
You know what you need for your first child's birthday party? A fucking cupcake. Or a cake for you guys with one candle on it. You put it in front of him. He's probably not even going to blow it. The first birthday is like a celebration for you because the baby is a frickin' baby. He doesn't know anything. It reminds me of your cousin's parties. Your cousin always had these bougie parties.
I don't know if she did it for when they were 1, though.
She did.
Yeah?
I think it was Ariana's first birthday. Or
I don't think you were there for Ariana's first birthday.
How old's Ariana now?
I don't know.
Okay. So your cousin...
Maybe she did. Maybe you were there.
Or maybe it was the other one, the boy.
Gianluca?
Yeah. So, but I just remember when we first started dating... You're like, "Oh yeah, we're going to a kid's birthday party," and you take me to this place, and they rented out a party room, a huge party room in this place,
were kids.
And they had No, I was saying it was his first or second birthday. I'm like, this kid is not even enjoying the party. He's too young.
Oh, I don't remember.
I'm like, this party. I'm like, is a huge. I think it was first birthday. I'm like, why are we having this massive bougie get together thing for this baby? For this baby's birthday. I was very confused by the whole thing.
I gotta ask my mom about that. I'm sure she'll text me when she listens to this.
Your family would, yeah. just that one. Because nobody else in your family is really having these bougie parties.
No.
It's just your one cousin.
Well, they're the only ones that have kids.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand the need to spend too much money on the parties. I wonder how crazy Madison will go in the first party.
Well, she already told us.
She's having a 7-Eleven
themed
with slushies. I feel like that's cute.
Perfect for adults.
It's like an adult. She's like, the baby's not going to understand. She did say the 7-Eleven theme is for me. It's for the adults, because he being a baby at 1, he's not going to understand what the birthday theme is.
Yeah.
And then the second year, the theme will be like whatever he finds cool. Like when we ask him, what do you want your party theme to be? And he'll tell us. But first year, she's like, I got to pick, and I only get to pick one. It's going to be 7-Eleven theme with slushies and hot dogs. And
I love it. I'm so excited.
Genius.
Pumped.
Yeah, so I don't understand the need to go all out for a kid's first birthday party. They're not going to remember anything. And who the frig is in the bouncy castle? I'd be like, friend, you have betrayed my trust and you stole from me. You have stolen from me. And all the friends you're reaching out saying it's no big deal. And it's like, okay, then you freaking...
You fit the bill.
You foot the bill. You send me $100 each. What?
Is it foot or fit? Fit the bill?
Foot.
I said fit. Oops.
Okay. Little weirdo over there.
Sometimes I mix up my words.
Is it play by ear or play by year?
Ear.
I always thought it was year.
No.
How the fuck does ear make sense?
Play it by ear. Like, well...
How does that even make sense?
Well, listen, I don't know.
Play it by year is like, yeah, eventually we'll get there in time.
No. I get what you're saying, but no. Okay, there's a small edit. To everyone asking why she has access to my card is still a question to me. Maybe she went through my things when I visited her to help babysit her son a day before his birthday. On how she did it, I don't know, but I already filed a dispute with my bank about the charge. I will be checking my card to see if there are any other things she purchased using my card. I can't really imagine that she could do this to me. I guess, yeah, that's all you need. Like, you don't really need to know the PIN or anything. You just need the card numbers.
Well, you need the card numbers and the expiration date.
Yeah, like the card.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
All the details on the card.
When I worked in car sales, all I would need is the card number and the expiration date, and I could run a deposit over the phone. So, yeah.
Okay, I find it weird that, like, all the information is on the card, but when we insert the card, we have to put a password. But when we're buying stuff online or whatever, we just do the card details.
Well, when you're buying things online, you also need to enter in the 3 or 4-digit number.
That's fine.
You need to type in your postal code and your address. The address has to line up when you're doing online purchases.
True. Okay.
And when you're inserting your card, before that, you used to just be able to swipe and then you had to sign the receipt, and then it would take forever for them to figure out if it was fraud or not.
Interesting.
And that's why they introduced the PINs. Because
young.
Before our time, when credit cards first came, they always had to swipe everything. All the credit cards were swiping through, and then they would just sign the receipt.
Remember that from Home Alone? No, Home Alone. They did something weird in Home Alone 2 in New York.
They swiped.
No, but...
Well, before they swiped...
got, like, I don't know, like the big thing.
Before that, there was magnetic swipers. There was... it was like a machine.
Yeah.
It was paper machine.
Yeah.
So I had this for my job once.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're old.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a storage place, but essentially, you know how the credit cards have the raised numbers on them.
Yeah.
So you put the card down, and then there's a piece of paper, which is like the triple layer paper, the imprint paper.
Yeah.
The triple layer. So then a machine comes and it's like a roller basically, and it squishes the paper in between the card. So it imprints the numbers, and then they submit the slip to the banks, and then the banks will run that credit card info. So there used to be a lot of fraud back then.
Yeah.
Same thing with like personal checks. People would write a personal check. They would stay in the hotel for 2 days, and then they would dip. And then when the hotel went to go cash it, there's no money in the account.
Oh.
So there used to be a lot of fraud. So then they introduced the magnetic swipe, and then you had to sign it. And then after that, then it became with the PIN.
Interesting how we've evolved.
Now you just tap your cell phone.
Yeah.
Love Apple Pay. Okay,
top comment. Not the asshole, the audacity of some people. Quick question. Why would your friend have your card to begin with? That struck me as odd. OP replied, this is the question I was asking myself as well. I was so caught up in the moment that it didn't hit me on how she had access to my card number.
Yeah, that's wild. I cannot imagine. I would lose my shit if someone put $500 on my credit card. Be like, what? This would be like when I lived with Marcus, and if like Marcus had randomly like stolen my money or something, or like vice versa. I randomly stole his money.
Yeah.
Like, I can understand Marcus be like, yo, bro, something's wrong with my credit card. Like, can I use your card to buy something and I'll e-transfer you back? That would be the most I've ever done. I've never been like, oh yeah, I'm taking your freaking credit card or something.
Crazy.
It's wild.
Yep. Okay.
Go to jail. Straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
You're so worried about your bouncy castle, you go to jail. Hope you have a good lawyer. She doesn't. All right, on to me. This one's coming from ThreadTalk Podcast.
Oh, woo.
Last week, I learned an ex-friend's betrayal is why I lost all my friends. I just learned about my ex-friend's betrayal from 6 years ago. In high school, I was very quiet. I loved hanging out with my friends, but I struggled socializing. No one ever pushed me to the point of being uncomfortable, and I was glad for that. During college, my friends would hang out every so often, but what started getting to me was that everyone would always invite my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, and just expected me to tag along. I started feeling unwanted because my husband and I were not living together, and I was my own person. Anyways, we had one friend, Shelly, who was very bright and had big goals for the future. She was the most outgoing person of the group, and she planned a lot of the get-togethers. One of the last times we hung out, she invited me to lunch with the girls. I was happy and I arrived to the restaurant on time. After some time, they never showed up. I kept texting her when everyone would come. She would say soon. I started crying in my car because I waited over an hour. I finally went inside and ate my pizza alone. As soon as I paid, they all showed up. Not wanting to be rude, I stayed. Fast forward some time. The last time I saw all my friends, Shelly invited us to her piano recital. I went to show my support. Afterwards, we went out to eat at the mall across the street. During that time, I told everyone that I was accepted into a radiology school 2 hours away, so I won't be able to see them as often. They congratulated me, and we moved on. That was the last time I heard from anyone. I went through school, graduated, and soon learned that I had bipolar depression and anxiety, which explained a lot. I was scared of forcing myself into people's lives out of fear they don't like me. I'm terrified of offending anyone. And during my last years in college, I always wondered why none of my friends liked me because they never reached out and I never saw them again. I was always the nicest I can be because of my anxiety. Throughout the years, my husband continued to hang out with Shelly, and her life turned out completely different. Lots of sex, money, lying, complete disregard to our friends and feelings. I felt bad for her. I tried reaching out, but I was met with hostility. I know I'm not perfect, but I was trying to say that I was concerned, but she took it as I was judging her, so I left her alone. Now, a year ago, we had our 10-year high school reunion. Class of maybe 16 people, and a good amount showed up. Shelly did not. I heard bad stories, but the last time they heard about Shelly, and I felt for her. Turned out 2 of my old friends who were married only lived 10 minutes from me. A year later, I'm an aunt to their kids, and I can't imagine my lives without them and my other friends who are the kids' godmother. Last week, while I was helping them build furniture, we got on the topic of Shelly. My chosen sister freaked out, and after a few minutes, she had a confession / ask me something. Turns out, Shelly had a second piano recital. When everyone but me showed up, she told them that I refused to come, that I thought we were all fake people and wanted nothing to do with them. They were hurt and unfollowed me on social media and never spoke to me again. This tore me apart. I told them I knew nothing about a second recital and my experience with anxiety and thought that no one liked me. How I haven't had any friends in years and my experience with my therapist and medications. I cried so hard and they hugged me tight. This betrayal explains so much, why I lost everyone, but I'm still confused as to why she lied. I never said anything negative about anyone, and this was before her life went crazy too, before she started hurting all our friends. I was the first one she hurt, but even then, she didn't cut anyone off but me. My therapist says that after getting to know me for months through therapy, that it's nothing I did, that some people are just miserable people and don't want others to succeed or be happier than them. I get it, but I still want to know why.
Okay, what I'm confused is the relationship with Shelly and her husband. Because maybe that has something to do with it.
That's what I'm thinking. She said that her
They still
husband
hang out.
continued to have a relationship. Maybe Shelly was jealous of her.
That's a little sus. I would love to know how your husband reacted to this information. But anyways, yeah, I feel like that could maybe give like an explanation as to why she did this. I feel like girls are catty in high school, and I don't know, jealousy comes through, and yeah, I'll do bitchy things, and honestly, like, I was thinking like, oh, Shelly said that she didn't make it and all the friends just unfollowed her on Instagram, like, that's really petty. But I feel like that is kind of normal for like high school settings. Like,
Yeah.
it's like an immature thing to do, but I feel like it's on brand for 16-year-olds or whatever.
It's kind of weird that you like nobody like reached out to like verify or anything.
Yeah, I think so too. It sounds like OP was maybe like the odd one out, like the odd
one, yeah.
not the odd one, but the odd one out of the friend group, you know, like
the one at the bottom.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, which makes me sad.
I feel like I'm a confrontational person, so if somebody told me that somebody was talking shit about me, I feel like I would confront them, but maybe that's just me.
I wouldn't.
Right?
Yeah, we are opposite in that sense.
Like if someone told me that like that person, like if someone told me that another person said that I was a fake person and I was talking shit on me, I would confront that person, be like, yo, why did you say that about me?
I would not.
And then I would give that person a chance to say, I don't even know what you're talking about. I never said anything. And then I would confront the first person who told it to me.
Yeah. Well, not everyone is like that though. And I don't know. And maybe she was an easy target because she had anxiety and stuff. So she kind of, like, Shelly knew, like, this would never get back to me type of thing.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Some people just want to watch the world burn.
It's kind of cool that you went full circle with those other friends, though.
Yeah. Happy that came around.
Yeah. Then you're, like, the godparent to their children. Like, that's awesome.
That's good. Yeah.
That's all?
That's it. Back to you.
Okay.
I made a Batman reference and Teresa never got it.
What Batman reference was that?
Some people just want to watch the world burn. It's from The Dark Knight with the Joker. Teresa wouldn't get it, but if you got it, thanks.
Thanks. All right. Would I be the asshole if I tell my best friend's husband which she admitted to me? My best friend and I are practically sisters at this point. She's been married for almost 3 years, and they have 2 young kids. She truly loves her husband more than anything. I've been around them long enough to see how well they treat each other. My best friend and I recently had a small movie night, and she got a little tipsy and started telling me her biggest secrets about their relationship. For some backstory, she met him... Oh, I thought you were about to sneeze.
No, I'm just like, eek.
She met him at a party when we were 18 and he was 21, and she's been obsessed with him since that night. He was only in town for a few months, and they hooked up a few times, and they remained friends when he left. He moved here full-time a year and a half later, and even though they were friends, she was really shy and never told him how she felt. He got into a relationship, and she was so jealous that she sabotaged that relationship. She planted seeds of doubt in his ex-girlfriend, and she was so inside her head that she actually convinced her to leave him, and a few weeks later, she borderline stalked him and staged some coincidental run-ins with him, and he eventually asked her out on a date, and they were officially together a month later. His parents hated her, especially his mother, and she was so afraid that he would leave. She fell in love with him before they even got together, and she couldn't live with the thought of not being with him, as she stopped taking her birth control and got pregnant. A whole drama ensued, which resulted with him proposing to her midway through the pregnancy and going no contact with his parents, and her relationship with her parents also suffered. This was the first time I've ever heard of her sabotaging his previous relationship, or that she got pregnant to make sure he stayed. They're happily married, and I know that she's an amazing wife to him and mother to their children, as she begged me not to tell anyone what she told me that night. She genuinely loves her husband so much, as she went to the extreme lengths to make sure she had a future with him, and I don't want to ruin her life, but I'm on the fence whether I should tell him or not. Firstly, I think he deserves to know, but he needs to know that my friend only did whatever she did out of love for him. Would I be the asshole if I tell her husband the truth?
What the fuck is... Oh my god. Oh my god. Guys, is this worse than the memento box?
Okay, so yeah, I did have that thought. I did have that thought here because it's similar where like she stalked him. It's just roles are reversed. Genders are reversed.
This is
here.
way worse. She baby trapped him too.
She baby trapped him.
This is fucked. Oh, this is like, where do you draw the line?
I know.
Where do you draw the line between like, oh, you're so in love, or like infatuated with somebody, like they are so perfect for you, of like trying to get them, versus crossing the line? Personally, like breaking up their previous relationship, is that crossing the line? It's a little slimy, but maybe the relationship wasn't that strong. You just find some small cracks and you worked your way in there. That could be forgivable. But then you baby trapped him. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. Like you did that on purpose to keep him. I feel like that's too far for me. That's fucked. But like, your question is, should you tell the husband or not?
Or have your best friend's back.
I'm torn on this one.
Yeah.
How much do you like your best friend? Because at the same time, you have to understand that this is, if you are willing to tell the husband, this is no longer your best friend.
Exactly. You got to be willing to part with that relationship.
But I think she has mentally. I think she heard her best friend say this stuff.
I think she's judging her now.
And she's like, you are not the best friend that I had. I don't even recognize you anymore. Yeah. And I feel like that's what it'd be like. Rightfully so. I feel like that would kind of be like what it's for me. I'm like, I don't actually know who you are. Mm-hmm. You could be faking everything just so that I would become your friend.
Yeah. It's like, what else have you lied about? Like,
what else have you lied about?
Such a natural reaction to be like, let's take a step back. Who the F are you?
I feel like I would have to. I
know. How could you live with that information and not just like watch them spend their life together?
I have something terrible to say.
Oh, please.
I feel like in this situation, I would have to. And for everybody who listens on Patreon from our last Patreon that we did,
this is kind of similar.
You're going to kind of get this reference. But if this was my sister and not my best friend, I would take it to the grave. I'm sorry, Chris.
Dennis.
Yep. Their secret is safe with me. But if this was like my best friend, I feel like I'd be looking at the best friend. I feel like I would not say anything personally.
Maybe an anonymous letter.
I don't
tell me lies.
I don't even know if I could. Like, what if Louisa told this to you?
I know.
I don't think you would say anything.
I feel like
I don't think I would say anything because I feel like it's gonna implode by itself. I feel like you don't even need to do anything. Eventually, the relationship's gonna implode with you or without you. She is psychotic. She's loose-lipped. She told you. She did all of these things. Eventually, something's gonna slip. She's gonna get caught up in her own thing. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
The relationship's gonna implode. What would you guys do?
Yeah,
let us know in the comments below. Oh, we should follow this one for an update.
All right.
Yeah, let's move on from this. I feel like if you do say something, you have to recognize that you don't want to be that person's best friend anymore because, yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, maybe he would find it. Maybe he'd be like, oh, my God, wow, she loves me so much. She was willing to break up my past relationships.
No. That's messed up to be flattered by that.
Well, yeah, I would think so. Guys, maybe Teresa's known me longer than I've known her, and she sabotaged my last relationship to get her hands on me.
Oh, you mean when you were in high school and I was literally in grade 5?
Yes.
For those who are new here, Denver and I are 5 years apart.
I literally forget that all the time. I keep forgetting that you're 5 years younger than me. It never feels like it. I feel like we're the same age.
I know, because you are a child.
Okay. Wow.
I'm joking. No, but you are not immature, but you are still like a child at heart, like in a playful way.
I don't know, guys. Should I be insulted or flattered?
No, I'm not trying to say it as an insult.
You're just saying the same shit my sisters say.
So we can have the same opinions.
Well, obviously, I'm going to be a child at heart to them. I'm their younger brother. That's like a known fact to them. How can they see me anyway? Have any different way? You're not supposed to see me the same way. You're letting them influence you too much.
It's the way you act.
You're letting them influence you too much.
They're not saying that because you're their younger brother.
Yes.
They're saying that because you literally act like a child. Like,
no. I am a very mature and demure person.
Okay, Madison and Kat, I know you're listening. Let us know.
I refuse to acknowledge this.
All right. Let's move on.
Back to me. Okay. This one's coming from Best of Redditor Updates. Am I the asshole for advising my friend against coming out? I know the title sounds bad, but hear me out. Also, I apologize for using any incorrect terminology related to the topic. Okay. So I, 23 female, have a friend, Sam, same age, who is a female to male transgender individual. However, I am one of very few people who know this, and he generally still presents as female. This is because his family, mom, dad, grandfather, are all, quite frankly, horrible homophobics. Seriously, I've been to their house 3 times since Sam and I met in high school, and each time one of them has launched into some sort of hateful rant completely unprompted. Now, here is where it gets complicated. Horrible as he might be, Sam's grandfather is very wealthy, and Sam is set to inherit $2.5 million when he dies, which will probably be soon due to the man's rather serious health conditions. Sam has seen the will and knows this for a fact, but he also knows he'll be disowned if he comes out as transgender to his family. Because of this, Sam stays in the closet and continues to present as female, though he took to cutting his hair shorter and dresses more androgynously for college, for then sake of staying in good standings with his grandfather. Sam has always been very open about his plan to fully come out and deal with the consequences after he has the money. But today, at 5:30 in the morning, Sam called me and woke me up to tell me that he was considering coming out to his family soon, and that he thought it was dishonest to continue to lie for the money but asked for my advice. I was shocked, but honestly told him I thought it was a bad idea. I explained that $2.5 million would allow Sam to finally live his dream life, pay off all student debts, get a sex change surgery, maybe get a house, etc. Then I pointed out that Sam would almost certainly be thrown out of the house for doing so. He still lives with his parents for some complicated reasons, and he wouldn't be able to stay with me if that happened because on top of living in the 1-bedroom apartment, I babysit my 6-year-old immunocompromised younger brother twice a week, and I cannot risk cross-contamination from Sam, who is an essential worker. I also wasn't shy about making my opinion that his family wasn't worthy of honesty extremely clear. Anyway, after I was done explaining all of this, Sam just burst into tears before hanging up. I was confused, but it was only 5:45, so I just rolled over and went back to bed. Later in the morning, I woke up to a bunch of text messages from Sam saying that I was a bad friend, a horrible person, and claiming that I am homophobic/transphobic. Now, I could not give a damn about a person's sexual orientation or gender identity if you paid me. I am simply a deeply pragmatic person, and Sam knows this, so it really hurt to read these text messages. I didn't respond at first, and I decided to talk this over with my mother, who is aware of Sam's situations. So anyway, am I the asshole?
We had a very similar story to this on our Patreon a few months ago-ish.
Yeah, wealthy inheritance from bigot family.
Yes, exactly. And I remember one of the comments said, like, yes, this is life-changing money, but to be in a position where you can't be yourself in front of your family, in front of people, and you always have to, like, hide yourself, I think that is probably worthless. Like, not worthless, sorry, priceless.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we can't really relate to this scenario at all. I think for, like, from an outsider, people who are heterosexual like ourselves, like, it could be easy to just say, like, just hold on, like, a few more years, you'll get that money. Like, it's it's a lot of money. It'll be life-changing. But I think it's hard for us to judge without being in that position and trying to like hide your true identity.
Yeah. I agree. Like, I would say take the money and wait, but I'm not the person in that situation.
Yeah.
So I would love to know somebody who has maybe made that transition with the family, and would they hold off again if it meant that they were inheriting a large sum of money. I also think that a young person's perspective on this is going to be different from an older person's perspective on this. Like, the OP is like 23, and their biggest concern in their life right now is just like being their true authentic self. And if you had every person's situation is different, and if you ask somebody who is not comfortable with money, who is dead broke, can't afford anything, is not in school or something like that, they might have a different opinion about it, because money, it rules the world and it changes everything. So I feel like when you're younger, you're kind of put in a comfortable position from your family and your parents to be having everything provided for you. So if you would ask somebody who has everything provided for you versus someone who has nothing for you, their opinions are going to be absolutely different.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Money has so much value, it changes everything. But I would be really interested to know someone's opinion who has made that transition with their family, and whether they would wait if that meant they were getting more money. And I would want it to be someone who's older, who understands the value of money. I feel like when you're really young, you don't have that full comprehension of money. Like, when I was 19, I would have said, yeah, I don't care about $2.5 million. I'll make that one day myself. Like, I don't need that and stuff. Now being 30, I'm like, wow, that would have been absolutely life-changing. Mm-hmm. The older you get a different perspective on the value of money. And
it's also, it would kind of be poetic in a way. Like, okay, your grandfather dies, and now you get his $2.5 million. Like, you get this bigot's money. Like,
yeah, that's the best kind of karma.
I don't know. I feel like it is kind of karmic justice in a way.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
I don't know what the right answer is here, but I got an update. Okay, so I want to thank everyone on my original post for their different perspectives, and that everyone is able to be calm and respectful. I'll be the first to admit that while I have my own issues, I obviously cannot fully relate to Sam's struggles, and I probably could have been nicer about my concerns. In my own defense, he did wake me up at 5:30 in the morning, so I was pretty dazed and grouchy. I also want to elaborate on the money situation and why Sam and I probably view that $2.5 million very differently. Sam and I come from very different financial backgrounds. I came from a poor, blended household of 6 children and was the second eldest child. We never starved. My extended family, we were all very close, but luxuries were hard to come by, and there were many times my twin brother and I worked multiple part-time jobs to keep the lights on or to replace the water heater when it broke for a second time. I was only able to attend the same private schools as Sam was because of merit-based scholarships. I, and my family as a whole, am in a much better position now, money-wise, as I work 2 well-paying jobs, one of which is footing the bill for me to get my doctorate degree, but I still have a lot of money-related anxiety. Sam, however, has always been rich, and while his family are all pricks, they have never hesitated to spoil him financially. I used to call him a Visa kid, which is like a latchkey kid, but with his father's Visa card, which he has free to use on whatever he wants. Sam never bragged about having vastly more money than I did, but there are definitely times when he was accidentally insensitive about it. He once commented on how run down my house was after seeing where my stepdad had patched up some leaky pipes with neon duct tape, for example. Despite this, Sam usually had dinner at my house about twice a week, oblivious to the fact that my parents budgeted for each meal very carefully, and him being there was honestly an inconvenience. They both felt bad for him though and never said anything. Currently, Sam has a well-paying job as a hospital lab tech, but has no real savings and is, in general, terrible with money. He has no idea how to budget because his family has always paid for everything, and the only reason he has student loans is because they refused to pay for some study abroad that Sam wanted to do. When I said he still lives at home, what I actually meant is that he lives in his parents' guest house completely rent-free. They even buy his groceries for him, so the money he makes from his job is basically spent on video games, clothes, and collectibles. My point is that Sam could definitely afford to live on his own / be financially independent if he wanted to, but I'm genuinely concerned how he'd take the downgrading it would require. Anyway, on to the update. I went home today for our standard Sunday meal and talked things over with my mom. She says that it sounds like Sam had already decided to come out and was looking for support / validation instead of advice, but didn't want to outright ask for it. My mom also says that while she agrees with me, she thinks I could have been gentler and that I should have apologized for the sake of the friendship. I, however, was conflicted. I don't believe in false apologies because they are demeaning to everyone involved. I also don't like that Sam was fishing for validation and support instead of just asking for it because I think that is manipulative. As I've said before, I'm a very pragmatic individual and think it would be foolish to give up so much money when you are so close to getting it. Still, I also don't know how it has been for Sam to keep such a big part of himself a secret for so long, so I thought about all the comments left in my original post and what my mom said and eventually decided to send Sam an email saying the following. 1. I stand by what I said earlier and I think the advice I gave was solid even if it wasn't what he wanted to hear. 2. I was sorry if what I said hurt him and that hadn't been my intentions at all. 3. That I would, of course, stand by and support Sam if he made the choice to come out, as it was his choice. 4. But I also thought he should make sure he was both physically, emotionally, and financially stable before doing so. 5. I sent him the information for the mental health clinic I go to, which is offering 3 free Skype sessions with a counselor to help people cope with quarantine and suggested Sam talk things over with one. 6. I also suggested he get his important personal documents together, SSC, birth certificate, passport, etc. Get them together and put them in a secret, safe place, and even offered to hold on to them. Finally, I said he should make sure he has somewhere else to live before coming out. I found a couple of cheap, like $500 a month places on Craigslist for rent and put the links in. I even promised to pay for the first month's rent if necessary. And then I sent the email out and I went to help cook dinner. About an hour later, Sam called, but my hands were covered in flour and eggs, so I asked my sister, 16 female, to answer my phone and put it on speaker, believing, falsely, we were about to have a calm adult situation. Well, Sam blew up. For about 30 minutes, Sam just yelled about how there were more accusations of being homophobic / transphobic, accused me of calling him crazy, called me a robot. This one hurt the most, silly as it sounds, as I am on the autism spectrum and have a hard time with understanding / expressing emotions in general, which I'm very sensitive about. He also said he'd never move into any of those apartments I suggested because they were trashy, and wondered why he couldn't just stay with me. I tried to explain about my little brother again, only to be told, and I quote, "Why are you so worried about that brat? He isn't your kid. Just forget about him right now." Then Sam hung up again, and it was Sis's turn to blow up. Sis is bisexual and has never really liked Sam, though I never knew why until now. My sister was angry that Sam would say those things when I and our family have done nothing but support him. She said that throughout our years of friendship, it has always been me supporting Sam, and never the other way around, despite having my own issues. I tried to argue, but my sister reminded me that after I had extensive eye surgery in high school to hopefully prevent me from going blind before 30, Sam couldn't be bothered to drop off my schoolwork or drive me to a checkup when no one else was available. She compared that to when I had to leave my important work dinner to pick up drunk Sam from a gay bar, or when Sam got angry when I decided my older brother's wedding was more important than going to an LGBT plus event on our college campus with him. Honestly, my sister has given me a lot to think about. Sam is an important friend to me. I obviously want the best for him, and I'm hoping that this is all just stress from the current global situation boiling over or something. But my sister is right in that Sam has spent years expecting to be my number one priority and using me as an emotional crutch. I'm going to give things a few days and see how they turn out. Any thoughts would be greatly appreciated.
Damn. Okay. I have a couple things on OP's approach. I expected that OP was on the spectrum just from how blunt she was being about things, even in her like response email or her initial email saying about like why she did it and everything. Like, I just feel like she couldn't really sugarcoat anything.
Yeah, not capable of sugarcoating.
Yeah. I was just thinking like to me, it was kind of obvious that Sam wanted not really an opinion, because obviously OP can't provide a logical or a relatable experience with this because OP is not trans. So I think, yeah, like to me, like an outsider, it was clear that like he wanted support. So I'm just thinking, like, if someone came to me, if I had a friend that was trans and they came to me asking for advice, there's no chance I would say, think of the money. There's no chance I would say that. I don't think I would genuinely say that at all, because I wouldn't want to sway them in a way, because I don't have experience walking in their shoes. I don't know how they're feeling internally. I don't know how hard it is to be build up or have built up secrets.
Right.
And not be able to be your true self. So, yeah, I don't think I would have expressed my opinion. I would have probably just said, I think whatever decision you make is going to be the right decision. Like, it's how you feel. I think it was clear that Sam was leaning towards coming out.
I feel like for me and my personality, I would have been the same thing as OP. Like, I wouldn't have picked up on that, like what his mom said.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have picked up on that, and I would have almost said and felt the same ways that OP did. And I feel like that's just me, and like my emotions just reminds me of like an incident that I had with my sister like a decade ago, where like I didn't pick up on in between the lines the question. I only picked up on what was directly being said.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough, and I feel like you just kind of learn that as life goes on.
Yeah.
Honestly, like emotional intelligence is more just like you're kind of taught it.
Right. And like I said, before we read the update, we kind of talked about like it depends on what the person's value of money is.
Yeah.
OP grew up broke. OP knows the value of $2.5 million, where the person, his friend that he's talking about, is kind of spoiled.
Yeah.
In an essential way, like lives in the guest house that's completely separate, has groceries paid for, has everything paid for, has no savings. So when you ask somebody who's broke and needs money, that is obviously going to be a huge swaying factor of whether or not they should do something. And his answer would have probably been the same no matter what the situation was. Like, not have anything to do with being trans or coming out or being gay or anything. No matter what the situation was built around $2.5 million, OP's answer is probably going to be the same. Even if it was, should I go to school to be a lawyer, or should I go to school to be this, or should I go do something over here, or should I work for the company? No matter what, I feel like the question was, he's going to be looking at is what $2.5 million would do for his life. And that's where his answer is going to come from, is what
OP's a girl.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't know why I do that. Sorry. My internal male bias. But OP, she's always going to be looking at through the lens of what $2.5 million could do for her life.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, it is all about perspective.
Yeah, like even if it wasn't like them being trans or anything, and she was like, my parents want me to go to school to be a doctor, but I want to be an artist. OP is going to say, well, go to school to be a doctor, do that, get your inheritance, and then you can go back to school to be a painting artist or a music or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what the situation is, OP is looking through it of the lies of the lens of a broke person looking at $2.5 million.
Yeah, yeah. One more thing, I didn't love what OP said. I'm a very pragmatic individual and think it would be foolish to give up so much money.
That's what I mean. That's the lens of being broke.
Yes, I just don't like that word. I feel like to like judge someone to be foolish, it's like you have no idea though of Sam's perspective. Like, you can't call him foolish.
Well, he thinks he does. He spent the whole first half of that post describing what Sam's life is currently like, how easy he has it money-wise. So that's why I'm saying OP or she has a money bias.
Yeah.
It's unavoidable.
Yeah. I just don't like the language she kind of used, because I feel like it comes from like kind of like a privileged standpoint where it's like you haven't walked in their shoes. I don't know. You can't judge someone for that.
I don't know if I completely agree with that.
Okay.
Because I just mean, like, she sees privilege that she doesn't have. You know what I mean? She's only judging. You can only judge somebody by what your circumstances are. And Sam asked for her friend's advice or his friend's advice, and she can only give a perspective of what she has experienced in her life.
Yeah.
And for what she's experienced in her life is compared to her, that person's life is very privileged compared to what she's grown up with. Mm-hmm. So I just think, there's usually bias from your experience.
That's fair.
There's another update.
Okay.
It comes 2.5 years later.
Oh.
Original post was July 2020. This update comes from October 2022.
Damn.
Am I the asshole for telling a former friend that he was particularly responsible for his own bad life situation, and I don't feel bad for him?
Eek.
A few years ago, I, 25 female, posted a story about my former friend, female to male, 25. Sam had the misfortune to be born into an incredibly bigoted but rich family, and Sam stood to inherit a lot of money from his grandfather. Understandably, both of these things factored into Sam's decision not to come out fully to his family, at least not until his grandpa died and he got his inheritance. That was until 2 years ago when he called me very early in the morning to say that he'd been thinking about coming out to his parents and asked what I thought. I told him that it was a bad idea due to the combination of him definitely getting written out of the will, getting kicked out of his parents' house, and cut off altogether from money, healthcare, etc. He didn't have any savings and not having another place to stay. Well, Sam didn't like that. He accused me of being transphobic and a bad friend, amongst other things. A few more blow-ups later, which, along with my little sister, helped me realize that my friendship with Sam was unhealthy and one-sided. It led to me making the difficult decision to cut Sam out of my life. I sent him one final email saying I was sorry about the fight, that I wished him well in whatever he chose to do, but I also felt neither of us was getting much good out of our friendship. Then I blocked him and forced myself to push Sam out of my mind. It was hard. I worried about Sam a lot, but was able to move on with my life. I spent these last 2 years working on myself, and it paid off. I climbed the ladder closer to my dream job. I'm in the best shape of my life, and most importantly, I met my wonderful fiancé. Eventually, I managed to mostly forget about Sam. That brings us to yesterday. I was running errands when I stopped for coffee. When I was waiting for my drink, I heard someone call my name. It was Sam. He looked rough, to the point I didn't even recognize him at first. Anyway, Sam decided to join me. I awkwardly asked him how he's been, and Sam launched into this long rant about how hard his life became after he came out to his parents. He got kicked out and cut off by his family, and since he didn't have enough savings to rent anywhere, Sam ended up couch surfing for the past 2 years, losing a lot of friends when they got tired of him. Sam apparently got so depressed about everything that he had stopped going to work and was finally fired about 6 months ago. When he was finally done, I honestly told Sam that I was sorry for everything he went through. He asked me if that was it, and another blow-up happened. Sam accused me of abandoning him when he needed my help. I said I did offer him help back then, but it just wasn't help that Sam liked. When I told Sam that everything that had happened to him was something that I warned about, and that I didn't feel much sympathy for him because of that, he knew the risk still came out, so he couldn't gripe about the consequences. I left after that, and everyone who knows what happens is split on my response. So, am I the asshole?
I don't know. I don't know the right answer for this one. My initial thought is like, I feel like I just feel like OP can't understand. And that's fine. But I don't know, like maybe she should have had more sympathy. I don't know. Like I feel like she did leave at a time when he needed her. But at the same time, like, yeah, like he did kind of blow up at her. So like how much are you supposed to endure? It seems like what the sister brought up, like from the past and stuff, like made a huge impact on her decision to cut Sam off. Right. Which I don't even know if that was even relevant because
I feel like that's relevant.
It doesn't seem like it affected OP though.
Feels like
until it was brought up.
Yeah, like, it's like he never realized how one-sided the situation was.
Yeah. Like, yeah, maybe it could have just been like subconsciously building up.
Or like when it takes, like you said, it takes someone else to see from outside perspective
Yeah.
that you're in a toxic situation. And as a friend, like I feel like you don't really owe your friends like anything.
Yeah.
Like you don't owe anybody anything. You only owe things to yourself to make sure that you have a good life, I feel like. And like creating a friendship and having a friendship with people is not something that you quote unquote owe. If you want to be a good friend and you want to have a good relationship back, it's a give and take situation. And his sister pointed out that you were just getting taken advantage. You're just getting, all you were doing is giving, and this person is just taking, and there's no balance there. So I feel like you don't owe that person anything.
Yeah.
And you can only give the advice that you can give. You only have your perspective. And he, like he said, is just like she said, it wasn't the advice that he wanted to hear. That didn't. Yeah. But no, what is OP supposed to do? Like this is OP sees things through the lens of how much money affects her life.
Yeah, I don't think OP was wrong to cut Sam off because obviously it did have an impact on her life. I think maybe saying the like I told you this was gonna happen type of thing is a little harsh.
See, I don't think so, because compared to the other one of like, I told you so, it wasn't unprompted. Sam blew up at her, and then she defended herself by saying, I told you this is what I thought, and I was right. But she only did that after she was being attacked.
I guess.
It was a response, not just, oh, they sat down for lunch and then he said it and then he was like down and sipping coffee and she's like, well, I told you so. Why didn't you listen to me? No, Sam again blew up. She said it
to defend herself.
Blamed her for everything. Yeah. And it's not her it was not her fault or her responsibility for Sam's actions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a tough one.
Top comment. At the beginning of the update, I was hoping the humbling of Sam would have involved growing up and learning that he needed to be accountable for his actions. But alas, dude's still blaming OP for the state of his life and will likely continue to live a shit life until he realizes what he actually lost when he pushed OP away and why it ended the way that it did.
Yeah, it does seem like he is pushing people away. Like, he's blaming everyone else instead of like taking accountability. He
also said that he couch surfed for 2 years.
Yeah.
So are you saying you took 2 years, you took that entire 2 years and you've just been bouncing around and never got any structure into your life? It makes sense why he's blaming OP.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunate events.
Dude, live in a series of unfortunate events.
Yep. All right.
Back to you?
Yes. Am I the asshole for not inviting my best friend's boyfriend to a 6-year clear of cancer meal? I, 19 male, suffered from cancer while I was 12. I had a lot of people there for me, but the one who was there for me most was my best friend, 19 female. She was by my side the whole time. Whenever I had to go to the hospital for chemotherapy treatment, she was always there messaging me, making sure I was okay. When I arrived back in school, I had joined a drama club, which was after school and lasted about an hour and a half. There was one guy in the club who I didn't get along with at all. I'm gay and have known him for a while, and after a month of being back at school, I had told my closest friends and they were all supportive. But like everything in high school, word got around to other students, and to be honest, I didn't mind at all. But this guy in the club found out and he was extremely homophobic towards me, telling me I should leave the school because no one wants to talk to me anymore, and started bringing up hurtful stuff about my cancer that I had not long beat, such as, it should have taken your life, and it's a shame you beat it. Fast forward to now, we are celebrating 6 years of me being clear of it. We have a meal every year to celebrate it. It usually consists of me, my family, my boyfriend, 22 male, who I've been with for almost 2 years, and my closest friends. My best friend started dating this guy 5 months ago, and I found out weeks into their relationship. It was the same guy who said all that hurtful stuff to me 6 years ago. I spoke to her about it and agreed to give him another chance as she seemed genuinely happy with him and had insisted he had changed. Me and him still don't get along, but I don't interfere with their relationship, as she is the happiest she has ever been for a while. She then asked a few days ago if he could come to the meal that I was holding for my 6-year cancer clear. For my 6 years clear. I was pretty hesitant and told her that as much as I was happy for her being with someone she likes, he was awful to me in high school and I can't forgive him for what he was like. I also told her that he still didn't like me, and he has made that obvious about a month ago when he said something to another close friend of mine about me and my boyfriend. She is now calling me childish and started saying that I should just forget about it. And she also said if he doesn't come, she isn't going either. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to forget everything and just let him join in on the meal, or deny her request of joining and deal with the consequence of her not joining either. So am I the asshole for not forgetting what he had done and denying my friend requesting him joining?
I would say not the asshole, and I would accept the consequences of her not coming as well. Has he ever apologized? Because
it doesn't seem like it.
It doesn't seem like it. Like, okay, you're a pretty shit person, and in high school you were a shit person, and honestly, like, they're still only 19, so like most likely he's still a shit person.
Yeah.
It was like they were 25, and it was like
Your
the high
frontal
school
lobe has
bully.
developed.
Yeah, and he comes and he apologizes, and he's like, I was an asshole back then. I don't know why I thought that way. I could respect that and maybe give forgiveness to that kind of person, if everything else. But it's like, he's still made comments. He's still a dick. He still shows it. He's never apologized. So it's like, no, he's not coming. And if you want to have that relationship with him, like, I am going to be questioning my relationship with you. So I will accept the consequences of you not joining either.
Yeah. It's really inconsiderate to just tell OP to get over that, when he clearly caused trauma all those years ago. And now this is something that the boyfriend made fun of, used it against OP. I hope this cancer would have killed you.
That's fucked.
And now he wants to come to his cancer celebration, cancer-free celebration dinner.
I mean, the most I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't invite. But like, could you imagine, like, you like, okay, fine, whatever, you come, he comes, and like during your speech, you just call him out. I would just like to thank everybody supporting me, especially dickhead face over there, because I remember in high school he said that it should have taken my life, and it's a shame that I beat it. And I just wanted to say, big fuck you, buddy, because I'm still here. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, like, even if this was just like a regular event and it was just like a friend's dinner or whatever, and she wanted him to come, he still has every right to be like, no, I don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But especially, this is like a symbolic dinner for him
Exactly.
that this bully literally used against him. So,
like, if you could handle the drama, you could let him come and just call him out and then say peace out and leave. But
Yeah.
you shouldn't have to deal with any of the drama. Unless you're like a petty person and you want to do that, and that would give you enjoyment to call him out in front of everybody to know how much of a piece of shit he is. But other than that, you shouldn't have to be expected to interact with this person.
yes. And I would say it's also really inconsiderate of the friend
Is she really a friend?
to not get this, to not understand, like, your boyfriend hurt me. Yeah. I don't want him there. That should be okay with you.
Exactly. And if it's not, is this a friendship that I want?
Yeah. Exactly. Top comment. Not the asshole. Something you will learn in life, especially being gay, is that you have to hold a boundary with people who are abusive. Let's examine what happened here. This guy was cruel, bullying, and abusive to you through his homophobia. He may not be outwardly cruel to you, but still holds those views and talks about you behind your back. Knowing all of this, your best friend is still dating this person. Your friend is probably simply too young to recognize the nuance, while you were forced to grow up quick due to circumstances. She cannot see that not holding her boyfriend accountable is the tactic approval for how he treats you. So reinforce that while you love her and want her to make decisions that are right for her, you have to do the same for yourself. This guy was and continues to be horrible to you and holds hateful views about you, so he is not welcome at your celebration. Tell her that it is hurtful that his behavior is not a deal breaker for her, but you are still choosing to prioritize her happiness. If you really want to drive that point home, ask her this. If you and this guy get married and have kids, and one of those kids comes out as gay, do you really think your child would be safe or even allowed to be in your house?
Ooh. Fuck yeah, throw that in his face.
That is a great point.
Literally.
Yeah. That's Yeah, that's a great point. Like, he still carries all these views. You have a best friend who is gay. That's a contradiction. You can't either, like, you can't really be with someone. I believe you can't be with someone who has different views. I won't say political views. I will say, like, just human rights views as you. Because this is, yeah, like, you can't have a boyfriend who hates gay people and then have a best friend who is gay.
Yeah.
Like, we're going against one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I would, if I was OP, I would take it in my own hands and end this relationship. Maybe not yet, but maybe just, yeah, I would ask that question and be like, I do love you, and I want you to be happy, but I don't know, like, why isn't this a deal breaker for you? Why can't you see it from my perspective? And ask her this question.
Yeah, I would definitely be asking, how can you still be dating him after you've known what he's done to me? So
yeah.
The OP does make a comment and says that no, he has not apologized.
Yeah, I think that was pretty clear.
All right. Back to me?
Yes.
All right. I only have time for one left.
Okay.
So I will let you decide. I have one from Best of Redditor Updates for Am I the Asshole for Ruining My Friend's Vacation? And I have one from Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for getting on the flight, leaving my friend behind, and embarrassing him afterwards?
The flight.
All right. Am I the asshole for getting on the flight, leaving my friend behind, and embarrassing him afterwards? I, 20 female, went on a trip with a few friends a week ago. We had all booked the same flight. Me and one other friend were the last to the airport. Everyone else had already checked in and was past security. My friend Jay has type 1 diabetes and accidentally left his doctor's letter at home. In my country, if you want to carry insulin, EpiPen, and similar medications on board, you need a doctor's note certifying that you have a medical condition that requires you to keep your medicine nearby. Even if he had gone home to get it, by the time he got back to the airport, he would have missed the flight. Jay said he'd catch a later flight, but asked me to stay as well. Changing flights, especially so last minute, would have cost a ton of money, so I said no. He was upset, but oh well, he catches a later flight. Later on, when we were all together and at the hotel, Jay starts saying he wishes he had a nicer friend who would have understood that when you have medications and stuff, you need to deal when shit happens. At which point, I told him that I had to go through all the same procedures and shit he did to get a doctor's note that allowed me to take my EpiPens on board. I just didn't leave that note at home. I understand that insulin needs to be kept cold and stuff, so it's harder to store than an EpiPen, but the doctor's note requirement bit is exactly the same. He still said some stuff about how it isn't the same, but he doesn't bring it up again afterwards. One of our friends pulls me aside and told me that I didn't need to embarrass him by saying that I remembered to bring my doctor's note. That Jay already felt bad enough about missing the flight and having to pay extra to get on another one. Now we're back and Jay is talking to me, but he still says he can't believe that I left him alone just to save a bit of money. So am I the asshole?
No. Jay was trying to guilt trip you and you just told it how it is. Yeah. Hey, I was in the same boat as you.
Right.
And I was smart enough to bring my papers.
I brought my doctor's note.
No, this wasn't him. This wasn't OP embarrassing him.
You embarrass yourself with your lack of travel prep.
No, exactly. This is not... He literally just said facts. Like, you forgot, I didn't. Why are you trying to guilt trip me into spending more money? Like, did you offer to pay the difference? I can't afford it.
I was going to say, like, did you offer to pay for the difference of my flight? Because like, if not...
It's not the fact of, like, the inconvenience of having to stay back and get the next flight. It's the cost. That's probably the biggest issue. Right. It's not that he doesn't want to be there for you because you're his friend. It's just that, like, it costs more money.
Mm-hmm. One of the top comments... Not the asshole. A note like that should have been put immediately in his wallet and a copy put into an insulated bag he carries his medication in to be sure that he had it. He forgot. Unless he was going to foot the bill for the changes, he has nothing valid to say.
Exactly.
I would agree with that. Yeah. And this could come because I could say what I'm going to say next because I'm heartless and I have no friends. But would you still want to be friends with these people? And maybe this is why I have no friends. Because all the time my friends just did stuff and I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to associate with you anymore. And how I barely have any friends.
I feel like that might be a bit extreme.
Is it? I don't know.
To like not want to be friends with them anymore.
Because I'm just like, I don't have to deal with all these like drama problems that we read, but then I'm like, I don't have any friends that deal with these drama problems. Is it because these drama problems have happened to me and I have gone low contact to that turn into just no more contact? So I don't know.
I don't know either.
Must be nice to have all these friends.
Or it's nice to not have any and be drama free.
I do enjoy that more. All right, so my other story, I will read that on Patreon. If you guys are new, we do Patreon bonus episodes every Friday. We get usually about 8 additional stories that are going on that episode. So if you guys you need more Thread Talk podcast, you need more Am I the Asshole stories, we sometimes get some really even better ones, the juicier ones for Patreon. So if you guys want to check that out, the link is down below, or you can just search Thread Talk on Patreon. We appreciate all of your support for coming on board. And let's go into your story.
My last one, and I'm going to have one carry over to Patreon.
All right.
I'm not going to let you choose this one. I want to read this one.
Oh, okay. No choice for me, guys.
No choice. I feel like American Thanksgiving is coming up, so this is fitting. Am I the asshole for telling my vegan friend I don't want to come over for Thanksgiving dinner? I, 54 female, have a friend, 55 female, who went vegan 10 years ago. We've been friends for 20 years or more. We have a large group of friends, 15 to 20, and there are a few of us that switch off cooking dinner on Thanksgiving for whoever's in town. Since Anne went vegan, we've always accommodated her dietary restrictions with, at the very least, some tofurkey, 1 side dish, and 1 dessert being strictly vegan. This year, Anne jumped in early and for the first time ever said she wanted to cook Thanksgiving this year. Not a problem, until she informed us in the group chat dinner will be 100% vegan. Some of us offered to bring more omnivore offerings, including a turkey, and she insisted we eat vegan while at her house. She declared that vegan food tastes exactly the same as omnivore food. It does not. I've been at her house and choked down bean burgers and chocolate cake and probably a dozen other meals, each of which she insisted tasted just like the real thing. She even tried to fool me once with a Beyond Burger, insisting it was a regular hamburger. I have only found a limited number of vegan dishes I enjoy, and none of them have ever been made by her. After thinking it over and discussing it with my husband, we decided to privately tell her we were bowing out of dinner on Thanksgiving this year. I told her I wanted turkey, mashed potatoes, pumpkin pie that were all made with traditional ingredients. I could have lied and said we had plans to travel to see family, but I don't want to lie. Anne has become angrier and angrier with me since I told her this about a week ago. Then she went and complained to some of the women in our group about me refusing to attend just because she's cooking, which is sort of true but made me feel angry. So I ended up explaining to the other ladies that we all very considerately make vegan dishes just for her at every party and get-together any of us throw, and it's really unreasonable for her to insist that I strictly adhere to her dietary choices when I have never demanded her the same. So that blew up because all the ladies have now jumped to my way of thinking and decided they will have Thanksgiving at one of their houses instead. We will not be attending their Thanksgiving either. My husband says we probably should have lied about going out of town, or at the very least, I should have not explained my reasoning to the other ladies. I've decided to stay out of it from here on, but somehow Anna blames me for the whole debacle. Am I the asshole for declining to attend a vegan Thanksgiving?
No, and I think that's a very good point. Like, you're not like saying you should eat meat because that's what we eat. Like, I think that if you flip the script, I feel like that's a fair thing to say. Mm-hmm. No, yeah. Like, I can also understand like, hey, I don't want my house smelling like meat, but I can also...
Okay, so that's what I was thinking. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. That's what I was thinking. Like, yeah, I don't think it would be reasonable to ask Anna to make all of this food that isn't vegan because that would make her uncomfortable. Like,
yeah.
But they were offering to bring their own food.
Yeah, and even if you don't want that food in your house for like smells or whatever reason, it's like, okay, well, it's like, hey, because you're a vegan, I don't think it's the best of you, host, because, you know, we want to have the turkey and we want to have that stuff there. So I do think it is a little rude to be like, oh, you could only eat vegan. And it's like, okay, well, we don't push what we eat onto you. So if you flip the script, you shouldn't be doing the same thing to us. I can kind of see that. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, and I feel like I'm already going to get some hate, I probably wouldn't have done this. I probably would have just suffered through it. Like, I don't think it's like a huge deal to be like, I'm going to eat a vegan meal for one night. Like,
I would agree with that.
Just to keep the peace. Like, okay, I know I hate that saying. Just keep the peace. Just keep the peace. But I feel like for this, like, it's not going to be inedible food.
No, and I could do that too. And I feel like I would probably keep the peace too, more likely. And if you're just not eat too much of it if it doesn't taste good, and grab some Mickey D's on the way home.
Yeah.
But like still like try it. And it's like if you did it last year and you want it again this year, like listen, we did it for you last year. And we're not doing it for Christmas. We're not doing it next year and stuff. Like, and then you at least do it the one time. And if they try to keep pushing it on you, be like, no. But like, I can also understand like not having to feel the pressure of like, oh, I can only eat vegan stuff. And you know what? Recently, I've learned that there's a difference between like vegetarian and vegan.
Jesus.
Okay, right? So
what do you mean you just learned that?
Like, I knew there was a difference, but I didn't really fully understand what the difference was. But when we have Friendsgiving, your one friend is vegan.
Yes.
But like vegan stuff is made different. It's not just like, oh yeah, I'm not going to eat the chicken or the beef or anything. Like vegetarians will still have like eggs and butter. They'll still have things that are used in the cooking process from animals. They're just not going to eat animal meat, right?
Yes, they just don't eat meat.
So things that are vegetarian can still taste good because you got the eggs in there, you got the butter in there. Like the things that are vegetarian, you can have lots of normal vegetarian meals. But then you go to vegan and it's like a Caesar salad is not the same as Caesar salad when it's vegan. So vegan dishes are a lot more restrictive. Like I was trying to make things and they were so much more restrictive when you like I couldn't use regular butter, I couldn't use eggs. So
I will say the butter tastes the exact same.
It was a little different, but
it tasted the exact same.
I could notice the difference. So that's what I mean where I'm like if your friend is vegetarian, okay, no problem. Vegetarian dishes are going to taste great, but I can understand what you mean where the vegan dishes don't taste the same.
I don't know. For me, it's like, okay, OP was like, I want the turkey, I want the mashed potatoes. That's fine. I think that's fine, but you can just do that another night.
I feel like the difference maybe is like that was going to be her only Thanksgiving.
But now she's okay. But now what's the alternative? Is she going to have turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes that same night?
What I don't understand
by herself?
What I don't understand though is this sounded more was like a Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
Not Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's with your family, with like your in-laws, your parents, your siblings, whatever. So I was like, does she not have any family in her life where she's not going to eat the normal Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
And her only opportunity at Thanksgiving is with her friends? Because then I'd be like, okay, yeah, maybe I don't want to give that up either. This is my one time of the year.
No, but even if that, you just have your turkey and stuff on another night. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Like,
I agree. Like, I feel like she could have tried a little more to keep the peace.
You could have just still went and still had your traditional turkey and stuff on your own, like, on another night. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you could have just eaten before, too, and just, like, had a little bit here and there, like...
She just didn't want to make those sacrifices.
I don't know. To me, this is being a little bit petty. Like, sometimes, yeah, you have to make sacrifices for relationships that you care about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
at the same time, I think it's unfair for the friend to not be accommodating and be like...
I do agree with that because they have been accommodating for her all those other times. So if you think about it from that perspective, it's like, why aren't you accommodating us a little bit?
Yeah, I'm torn with that.
I am torn. I don't know what I should feel here.
Overall vote was not the asshole. Top comment, not the asshole. You accommodated her many times over, but she refuses to do so when hosting. I get that being vegan is a choice most people make for ethical reasons, but the BS line of, it all tastes the same, is so asinine. It doesn't, and they know it. I often eat vegan meals of my own making, but never once have I made it thinking this will taste just like the meat dish I made yesterday. I know it doesn't, and I'm happy with my veggies. Hopefully Anne takes this as an eye-opening it needs to be. Her beliefs and choices are not something everyone will adopt. And the more she forces it onto people, the more people will reject the idea. I hope she enjoys her Thanksgiving alone, because until she returns, the graciousness of providing food for everyone at the table to enjoy based on their dietary choices, that's how she'll be spending it.
I do agree. I do agree. I just feel...
One more time.
I just feel like I would have sucked it up at least one time.
I think so too.
And I feel like that says a lot for me.
We're pushovers. What can we say?
But I'm usually not.
I definitely am.
You are, but I am usually like, I'm okay with being the asshole. And I'm even willing to be like, I could try and just eat all vegan dishes.
Yeah. I was actually surprised by the vote for this one and the top comment.
Don't fuck with Americans and their turkey.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with Teresa and her turkey.
We don't know if they're Americans.
Yeah, true. Well, I think
Thanksgiving is coming up.
Thanksgiving is an American and Canadian thing.
Yes, and it is only Canadian and American, I believe.
Thanksgiving is a national holiday celebrated on various dates in October and November in the United States, Canada, St. Lucia, Liberia, and unofficially in countries like Brazil, Germany, and the Philippines.
Oh, interesting. Fun.
It's a day of blessings for the harvest and of the preceding year.
I love Thanksgiving. I'm sad it's over for us.
We need American friends so that when we do our V life, we can come to Thanksgiving at their house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll make some on the road.
Yeah, we will.
All right.
Any life updates?
We put up our Christmas tree. There's a Christmas tree if you're watching on YouTube. A mini one. There'll be more. More to come in December.
Decorations are all up.
Yep. I got all of the approval I needed from you guys in the comments from the episode 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
You were all saying,
do it. Do it.
It's Christmas. I'm like, okay, fine. You have to tell me twice.
Yeah. We finished Lincoln Lawyer. Or is that part 2 of life updates?
That's part 2. That's TV. That's a new segment.
Updates? Oh, okay.
I took you to my work.
That was fun.
This week it was take your family to work day. So naturally I took Denver.
It felt like an onboarding day. I learned about core values, different departments. I got pizza. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I built a Lego Millennium Falcon as I edited an episode. It was a great day.
It was pretty fun. I work at like a tech company, and it just reminds me of like Google. It has like
startup
all these
vibes.
Free snacks, free breakfast, free lunch, free
stuffed
drinks.
Animals everywhere.
There's a gym in the middle of the fucking office.
Massage chair, galaxy corner.
Yeah, it's a
punching
vibe.
Bag. It's a vibe.
So
it's a cool vibe.
They did a whole like office tour because it's like a really cool office, and I learned a lot. I've been to the office a few times now, but I've learned a lot because I was like, they're just telling us about like the reasoning behind the stuffed animals and stuff. It was really cool. It was fun.
Yeah.
And we just celebrated our 7-year anniversary.
Oh my God, guys. Teresa couldn't even remember the date of our 7-year anniversary. She thought it was November 6th. It was November 5th.
Yes, and I'm sorry.
So then we went and we got burger at Hunter's Landing. And that was on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we went again last night on Friday night. We went again.
Yeah. We went out for dinner twice this week.
We needed some comfort food last night, and then we were like, it's Friday.
Yeah, we don't usually do that, but...
No, it was very rare. Very rare for us.
Very rare, and then we did it twice in a week.
Exactly. We've been doing so good with our factor meals.
Yes.
Use ThreadTalk 50 for your code to save. But yeah, it's been... We need a little break.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to get out. There is like a Christmas pop-up.
All the Christmas pop-ups are coming, guys. Christmas
Queen.
market, all the Christmas stuff. It's coming.
Yeah,
Still
but I
feels
want to
like
go.
fall out there, though. I'm waiting for the snow. We started watching Santa Claus last night.
Oh, yeah, and you fell asleep 10 minutes in.
Because I had drinks last night after dinner. I was tired.
Yeah. Oh, remember the Patreon episode we filmed yesterday and you were making fun of me for going to sleep at 9:30?
Yeah, that was me. That was me last night.
All of our Patreon members.
Teresa was angry. She's like...
No, I wasn't.
You yelled at me. You're like, you can't seriously be falling asleep right now. You did. Like in a nice way. You yelled at me nicely.
In a nice way.
Nicely mean way.
Yep.
And then I had to snap back. Like, you go to sleep early all the time. I get no sympathy when I want to go to sleep early.
Well, it was because the weekend before, you were like, let's watch Polar Express. And then... Same thing. 10 minutes in, you fell asleep, and it was early.
Bro, you're welcome for watching these Christmas movies so freaking early. I tried, and I that should be good enough.
You tried.
I did.
10 minutes in.
Sorry. You're welcome. That we even turned it on. I could have said no Christmas movies. Why can't we just pick the Christmas movie, and when I fall asleep, you keep on watching? That's what I do to you. You fall asleep, I just keep watching the episode of the movie, and I finish it, and then you finish it on your own time.
Christmas movies are meant to be watched together.
It's even best when you're like sleeping halfway through, and then you wake up and you fall back asleep. That's the best.
No.
Yeah.
Anyways, what Christmas movies are you guys watching? I'm watching all of them this year. All of them, even the shitty, predictable ones. I don't care. Those ones are the best. The Hallmark ones I love.
Last year, I wanted to watch the Home Alone. So I want to watch Home Alone past number 3. I had Home Alone 1, 2, and 3. Last year, Teresa only wanted to watch the original Home Alone 1 and 2.
I was very selective with my movie choice last year.
I was hard fought. I got Home Alone 3 squeezed in there. I wanted to watch the newer ones that I haven't seen before, but they were too new, too modern, so I had to get the old one in there. And this year, we're on Disney, and she sees Home Alone through 1 through 6, and she's like, 4, 5, and 6, I've never seen these ones. We have to watch these ones last year. And I'm giving her the side eye. I'm like, how dare you? Last year, I fought for them, and I only got number 3, and now we need to watch them all.
I don't know what to say. I can't really defend myself here.
No, you have no defense.
I will say, though, I've been worried that I'm going to run out of Christmas movies because I'm watching one every night.
There's not enough to run out.
So that's why this year I'm like, okay, whatever. We'll watch all the Home Alones. Perfect.
Watch them all.
Perfect.
On our TV schedule, we finished The Lincoln Lawyer.
Yes.
And we're now moved on to Only Murderers in the Building.
Yes, we have. I love that show.
It's been really good. So there you go. You got a ThreadTalk rant?
Huh?
You got a ThreadTalk rant? You got any ThreadTalk rants you want to rant about?
What do you mean?
The last time we did a little segment called ThreadTalk rants, and things we wanted to rant about. No, she doesn't remember, guys. She doesn't remember.
Was I here for this?
Yeah. Oh yes, I did with the other person I do the podcast with.
I don't remember ThreadTalk rants at all.
What
do we talk about?
Well, I'm bringing up almost the same issue. Dogs, city dogs is my ThreadTalk rant.
Oh, just like life rants that you talk about on ThreadTalk.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. You're
like a rant. It's just called the ThreadTalk rant.
Okay, got it. Any rants?
Yeah. Before I get into mine,
you can go for it.
City dogs, guys. I am sorry if you are...
Didn't you just say you talked about that last week?
Yeah, I'm going to do it again.
Okay.
I'm sorry if you guys are city dog owners, but I don't like it because we live in a concrete city, and is it just me, or I don't like it when they pee on like the posts and the signs that are just concrete. I feel like dogs should be peeing on the dirt patch somewhere, but they just pee on like a post, and then it just runs down, and it's like on the sidewalk. I've got to step over freaking dog piss in order to continue walking. I'm just not liking it.
Sound like a Karen.
I am sorry if I do, but I feel like dogs should be trained to pee on the grass and the dirt and not on concrete poles, and just walking by and lifts the leg, get a quick piss, and they keep on going. And next thing I know, I'm standing at the crosswalk and I got to move because the piss is coming down the pole, and you can see the stains everywhere. It's gross. And the dogs, people letting I used to never care if dogs were off leash. Now they're always off leash in my squirrel park, and I'm not liking it. They are fucking with my squirrels. The squirrels are going up the tree.
I don't even know if we talked about the
squirrels.
No,
we didn't, because the one lady was sitting on the park bench, and the one morning this white dog was like running after the squirrels. It was like a big dog, and I thought it was actually going to get them. And this lady is like way the fuck on the other side of the park yelling at her dog. It's one thing if you want to have your dog off leash, and then when you call your dog actually comes back to you. But this lady is calling her dog for like 15 minutes, and the dog's just ignoring her, and she won't even get off the park bench. And the dog's like running around our feet as we're trying to feed these squirrels. And I was getting very upset.
Okay.
So that's my rant.
But my point is, I don't think they know that you're feeding the squirrels. I don't think
we've talked about that. On our morning walks, I take the peanuts out and I feed the squirrels in this one area. Oh, okay. It's great.
I don't remember.
We have talked about that. And I'm always going through and I see people with their dogs off leash, and it angers me now because they chase after my squirrels. The squirrels did nothing wrong. Raising their heart rates, filling them with anxiety. They're going to get attacked by a freaking dog. It's rude. I don't like it.
Yeah, Denver's a squirrel lover now. I don't have the same opinions as you because I think dogs will be dogs.
Well, That's my opinions. I grew up on a horse farm where our dogs were trained to go to the washroom in the woods. So now I live down the city. I see the stains in the concrete. I don't like it. And I see it happen right in front of me. And then I got to freaking jump to avoid a freaking stream of piss. I just think it's gross.
That's what your shoes are for.
I just think it's gross. And like, imagine a little kid who doesn't know. He just walks through the piss. It's gross. I just think
that's what
gross.
shoes are for.
No, that's not. I just think it's gross. And I think if you have a dog, you should train your dog to go pee on the grass. And they shouldn't just piss on every pole they walk by.
I think you're going to get some hate.
I think I might, but
bring it on, guys. Let them know.
Let me know in the comments down below. I stay strong on that opinion. I'm sorry if I offend you because you let your dog pee wherever you want and you live in the city. So I'm sorry, but I like from an aesthetic point, does it not look gross looking at the stains everywhere?
I don't look at it. I actually don't notice it.
I see dog pee stains everywhere.
I don't notice it.
I can't wait to move out of the city. That's literally all I think about now. And you smell it. Ugh.
Yeah, I've been smelling it because of you. You've been bringing it up.
Yeah. So there's that. That's how I feel.
Okay.
Time to go to the mall. Let's go pick up my wedding ring. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Join us on Patreon if you want the bonus episodes. We appreciate that. Smash the like button on YouTube. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year on YouTube, and we're failing miserably. So please, if you're listening on Spotify, just come over to YouTube, smash the like button and the like button and the subscribe button and all those good things, and 5-star reviews on Spotify. Just show your support. We appreciate it. Don't forget, the merch is live on ThreadTalk podcast if you want to get some coffee mugs or some t-shirts. We appreciate all and any support, and let us know down in the comments what themes you want for the future. We had friendship themes. We need help. We're running out of theme names, so give us some help on what you guys want from us. What should we find for you?
Tell us what you want.
Give us some theme names and we will do our best to accommodate.
Thank you all. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Do-do, do-do. I'm putting that at the intro.
No, you're not.
I'm putting that at the end of the episode.
No, you're not.
No, I am. I'm